same way as they did in Game 4 up front. Kelly Olynyk, Jake Crowder, Al Horford at the guards, Avery Bradley.
All right, 2017 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5, Cavs Celtics. So, I think this game is pretty significant, actually. Cavs are going to win the game. Even if they don't, they're going to win the series. But there's a few different things that will revolve on the outcome of this game that will shape the future of the NBA, frankly. So, kind of wanted to talk about that. So, what's most likely going to happen is that the Cavs are going to win, probably convincingly, tonight. Close out the series. They're going to meet with Golden State again. Trilogy for the finals, third straight year. And then that's going to be something else. So that's probably what's going to happen. That's what Vegas is saying. That's kind of what everybody thinks is going to happen. It could still go either way. But they're a 10-point favorite, so that's something you can't take lightly. So, let's see. No one has scored yet, but most likely Cavs are going to win. Meet up with the Warriors. I believe the Warriors will win the series. They will be more rested. Thunder, we took the Warriors to Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals last year, and they were gassed for Game 7 of the Finals. Plus, they had a suspension. But either way, the Warriors have so much rest going into the finals now. They have over a week, I think. Way over a week. So they're going to be ready. Cavs need to finish this series fast if they want to have a chance. With KD, Steph, Draymond, Clay, all that junk, they're going to be hard to deal with. It's just going to depend on how badly LeBron wants it, how badly he wants his legacy to be up there with MJ's. That'll be another thing. He'll beat better teams. He's better pretty much every fundamental aspect of basketball than MJ, except he's just not as great in big moments as MJ was, and he never will be that. So this will go a long way if he can do that. And that's something that has a chance of happening. And the best chance of that happening starts with tonight if they can get rid of the Celtics and start preparing for the Warriors on June 1st. So what else could happen is that the Celtics could win a close game. Last time they were here, they lost by like 44, something crazy. Something crazy like that, so I don't know, they might be just really motivated at home to make the series a little more interesting, or just kind of steal another game like they did in Game 3. Not a great start for them right now, but there's certainly a chance that could happen. If that does happen, I think that will go a long way in helping the Celtics in the future. So even if they lose tonight, when you think about it, I came to this realization yesterday, the Celtics are set for at least like the next 7 or so years to make a few runs at a championship. Right now they're depleted and they don't have the best roster for sure. But when you dig into it, they have a chance to make a few moves to really compete. And that starts with Isaiah Thomas. And not the way you might think. Led the league in fourth quarter scoring, MVP candidate, electrifying player, one of my favorite players. But let's face it, he got injured in Game 2. They proceeded to lose by nearly 50 in that game. Then what happened? Game 3, they steal a win. No one knew why that happened, but certainly looked like a fluke. But just think about it. When you have LeBron and Kyrie, the best team in the East, even though they're the number 2 seed, at home, and you don't have your best player, how did the Celtics come out with that win? And it comes down to this. The Celtics in the long term are a better team without Isaiah Thomas. And that doesn't mean just 5-on-5, just playing basketball. I'm not talking about that because Celtics wouldn't be the number 1 seed without him. But it's because of this. He's up for a max deal, upwards of $200 million, and that will destroy the Celtics if they sign him to that. Because of this, he is a definite liability defensively. So, when you think about it, they won. They stole a game in the Eastern Conference Finals without him. And how did they do that? By playing quality offense and quality defense. Just kind of an old-fashioned way of playing it. But defensively, he's the worst player in the league. So, mathematically, if you take him out, whoever you replace him with is going to be a better defender. They're already a really good defensive team. So when you think about it that way, yeah, they play great defense already, but now they're one of the better defensive teams in the league without him. And offensively, Ty Lue said this the other day. When Isaiah Thomas was out, he said that they were a harder team to prepare for than the Warriors, which is frankly insane, but they're not predictable whatsoever. You don't know who's going to get the ball. You don't know what kind of plays they're going to run. So when you dig into it, it kind of makes sense, and it all came to fruition with that stolen Game 3 win. So yeah, they might be a better team, but the problem is they're not going to win a championship without him. They got to the first seed with him, and if you get rid of him, that'd be a bad move. Except for when you think of his trade value. So, a few years ago, I think it was 2013, they traded with the Nets to get a few players, few bad players. They got rid of, I think it was Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. They gave them to the Nets. In exchange, they got a few players and a few first-round picks way in the future. Well, the future is now. So what that means is the Nets' first-round pick, which became the first overall pick this year since they were the worst team in the league, that's going to turn into either Lonzo Ball or Markelle Fultz after the finals are over. Either way, that will help their team. The thing is, that's becoming more of a debate because, Lonzo's from LA, should go to the Lakers. It seems like that's written in stone. But if you think about it, the way that the Celtics played with Isaiah Thomas, who dribbles the air out of the ball, they've played a lot better that way. And if you have somebody that can kind of run that whole team, a younger player who knows how to make everyone around him better, and gets as far away from his dad as possible, that would become a pretty good situation. And if you keep Isaiah Thomas, you go with Markelle Fultz, instant scorer, will get 20 points a game. That'll be an instant boost that they would need. So either way, they're set, and they also get a first-round pick next year, which will probably be another lottery pick, and that will probably turn into, either Michael Porter, Trayvon Duval, Colin Sexton, who I really like, or Jalen Hands, maybe from UCLA. If either of those guys come out, the Celtics are probably going to get one of those guys, and all of a sudden they're stacked. So another thing is, if they get rid of Isaiah Thomas, on the surface they're going to get a lot back. Plus, they're going to free up a whole bunch of cap space. And everybody railed on the Celtics for not making any moves at the trade deadline, so that they ultimately couldn't get over the hump, which is probably showing up tonight. They got pretty close, but they're probably going to lose the series 99%. So everybody was questioning that. But if you think about it, you got Jimmy Butler, Gordon Hayward, Chris Paul, a bunch of good players that are going to be free agents this year. And if you're looking forward to the year after that, Paul George and Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, maybe. You got a few options, and you're going to have a lot of room because those draft picks aren't going to cost you a lot of money. Plus, you get rid of Isaiah Thomas. So, however it goes, the Celtics' future is extremely bright. So they'll end up with Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball this year, College Sexton, Jalen Hands, Trayvon Duval, or Michael Porter next year, plus a good veteran set right now. Al Horford, Avery Bradley, Marcus Smart. They're all going to be older, a little better, all really good defensively, and they'll have a bunch of good scorers after that in the draft, plus some money if they get rid of Isaiah Thomas to go after some really good free agents. And if you think about it, the Wizards are pretty good. Raptors are okay, but they can beat all those guys. It just kind of waiting. Once all that kind of adds up, LeBron's going to be about 36. He's probably still going to be really good, but I don't know if he could take the Cavs past the Celtics after that. So that's just a little something to think about. But yep, I'm taking Warriors this year. Win it all, probably in 6 games. Depending on what happens, maybe LeBron puts a team on his back, Kyrie helps out. That's what I hope for. I just don't want to see KD leave and get a championship like that. But, yeah, we'll see how all that goes. It's going to be a fun few years.